Hi everyone and welcome back to another Work No Game video. Today's video is day 2, Punishing Grey Raven, my first impressions, some gameplay, beginner tips, so let's go ahead and jump right into this. If you're wondering, this is going to be the Taiwanese version that you can play right now if you want to. This is going to be on Q app, and I didn't get into the CBT, so I was like, alright, I want to try this game. I want to give people my first impressions, my thoughts and everything. I think it's a solid game, definitely different from Honkai Impact, but very, very comparable. Now, when it comes to like the actual combat and everything, there is going to be a vastly different system for most action RPGs. Everyone's used to like, hey, this is going to be our main attack, and then you have like these 3 skills around like the corner, and that is going to be how you pretty much function within the game, right? But in Punishing Grey Raven, they have these things known as orbs or skills, whichever you want to call it, and the point is you want to stack all 3 of the skills or 3 of the same color at the same time. So right now we're like trying to kite them, but not really. That is going to be like the gist of it, all right? So let's go ahead and pay them back for all the hits that we've been pretty much taking. And what we want to do here is pretty much, deal some attacks and everything. Right here, this is known as the super space or the super computing space, where it's known as like a perfect dodge, sort of resembling to like anything from like Arkham Knights or Breath of the Wild. If you've played like any of those sort of games and you just, slow down time. And what's really cool about like all these like different orbs and stuff is that as you are playing through it, you can actually stack 3 of them at once. So you can see there's 3 little orbs right here, right? And they're also connected. So once you cast it, it'll actually deal more damage. It'll actually do a little bit more things. So it's one of like those pieces of information that's not really explicitly said, or at least I can't read it within the game. So you're gonna have to be looking and paying attention to your combos and stuff, right? As you're going through the game, you can't just sort of spam the skills. Well, you can just spam the orbs. No one's stopping you from doing that. But we'll cover more on the reasons why. So I guess this is some gameplay. Let's go ahead and skip that. And let's go ahead and jump right here. This is going to be like our ultimate skill right here, where she like rains down swords. Kind of reminds me of like FGO of like Emiya's skill, like when he does like, unlimited blade works and all that stuff. Well, let's go ahead and cast this. And are we done here? I have like this ability right now, or the settings menu, where I set it to auto target, which has been really helpful, especially since like there's going to be so many enemies within the game. So I want to just make sure that I don't have to like target if I can avoid it. So let's go ahead and do this thing. And you can see like the gameplay is diverse enough to a point where there is some sort of story. There is like some sort of plot. It's not just like go from point A to point B and kill enemies. You do have to like talk to some things. You have to interact with like some of the objects. Just note that this isn't an open world like Genshin Impact. Everything is instance. So you're going to be sort of reacting to the objects within the game. And this is going to be showing me like some more features that I've unlocked. So this is probably going to be another sort of like dungeon mode that I can pretty much play within the game. All right, so now that you've seen some of the gameplay, this is going to be my notes as usual. Credits to the folks at Discord, and huge credits to Rexlent and Fury Production. These 2 have been really helpful on my way on understanding Punishing Grey Raven. So when it comes to this, there is a gacha system. At least one tenpole is going to grant you an A rank, and then there's going to be like a weapon banner, and there's also going to be an event and rotational banner. All right, so when it comes to all these different banners, there's a 0.5% chance, and as you pretty much go on, there's going to be a 100% chance to pull a character after 60 pulls on the event and rotational banners. There's also going to be like a beginner banner, which guarantees you like an S character, which is going to be like the highest rarity. There is no tier list when it comes to this game. If you want to reroll, you're essentially rerolling for the character that you want. Here's going to be like a breakdown on the dupes or shards needed in order to get characters to certain ranges. There's going to be like different ranks from B to A to S, and then S. All right, S is like technically the highest ranked character that you can get. SS, SSS, and then SSS plus is going to be higher rarities as you get more shards and everything. And just note that you can farm all of the characters who are within A rank, all right, and below. So if there's anything S rank, there's actually not too many S ranks, and this game is very free to play friendly. We'll cover why. There's going to be some like tips on like who to pick up for like the beginner selector for your starters, but here's going to be an infographic that pretty much tells you there's going to be a new character every 3 months. If you manage to pick up the monthly card, which is $5, you're pretty much guaranteed to get every single S rank character if they launch every 3 months. We don't know the exact timelines and stuff, but here's going to be like another spreadsheet by Rexlent that shows you all the different timelines for all the different characters. characters. Just note that the updates are kind of sporadic. Who knows how the updates will be when we hit global and everything, but just note that this is going to be a lot of information to tell you on like what to save for, you know, how to best approach your free-to-play currency using the black cards. Black cards are going to be our summon currency. All right, the cool part about like Punishing Gray Raven, I thought this was going to be like a Honkai Impact action RPG sort of clone where I just do like the same things over and over again, but lo and behold, there's actually a couple of game modes within this game, so that's pretty nice, right? So there's going to be a story, there's going to be extra mode with like permanent stages, there's going to be events, but the cool thing is they have these things known as competitive modes, and in competitive modes there's going to be a war zone where essentially you can tackle unlimited PvE spawns or unlimited waves where you can get into the highest leaderboards, and then there's something known as the Phantom Pain Cage, which is essentially boss rush. So there's going to be a wave-based PvE leaderboard, which I always want from any PvE game, and this will provide you like more currency, more constructs, more affixes, which is like gear and stuff, and the same thing with like the Phantom Pain Cage where it essentially provides you more resources. And competitive mode is really cool because no matter what happens, everyone gets the same amount of resources depending on how high their player level is. So that is just really nice right there. You can see the resources being provided. This is based off of Fury Productions video, so I highly recommend to like check them out, sub to them. They have way more information than me, just like Rexlet. There's gonna be like some infographics on like fragments and stuff and character types. There's gonna be supports, there's gonna be DPS and armor. Supports are good at healing, DPS at damaging, and then of course armor for pretty much taking some damage and reducing overall damage that you receive within your party. There's gonna be talking about like the level system, the different damage types, whether it's physical and elemental. Obviously, there's like certain caveats between both. Just note that elemental is gonna be nice to switch into, nice to use, and it's not going to be just, oh, smash the space button, smash like the normal attack button and you can win. You're gonna have to look out for elements in this, that, and the third. There's gonna be some advice from Fury Production regarding equipment. Advisably use like 5-star gear and don't try to upgrade anything 4-star and below because this is just gonna be a waste of your time. And then there's gonna be like weapon affixes. These are gonna be like extra skills and stuff as you're progressing through the game. And there's gonna be something known as consciousness. This is going to be like your individual gear pieces as you're traveling through the game. You'll essentially get like extra stuff via your consciousness. I just wanted to show you a brief overview on what's going to be happening in Punishing Gray Raven because I don't want to have the misconception of like, oh, this is a Honkai Impact. This is a simple PvE game mode. There's going to be a boss rush. There's going to be wave-based PvE. There's going to be events. There's going to be extra modes. This does have a collab with the Nier like people with Yoko Taro and his game. So maybe we'll see like other games collab with like this IP, and there's just going to be so many different things. There's like certain ways to use the orbs that we were talking about earlier, and here's going to be an overview on orbs, right? So you can see this Fury Production started out with 9 orbs. Regularly you would only start out with 4 orbs, right? And as you're progressing through the game, you can unlock certain skills known as like this liberation skill, which will actually grant you extra orbs. And then there's going to be some weapons such as these that will provide you 2 extra orbs. So that's the reason why the Fury Production has 9 orbs versus your normal character is getting 4 orbs. So it's going to be like things that you can do to upgrade your character in order to generate more combos, and in order to generate more skills, in order to have more fun gameplay, more diversity. And just know every single character has access to these capabilities. It's not exclusive to S rank, A rank, B rank, or any sort of character. And then here's going to be like a quick thing on like dodges that I recorded from Fury Productions video. I just want to say huge shout outs to him because he's absolutely amazing. And one of my favorite parts within the game, it has to be this. This is going to be like core skills where essentially you can combine a certain amount of orbs and you can trigger like a special capability of that construct. You can see that they're essentially doing like sword waves, or Virgil's ability to pretty much do slashes that cut the air. So this is going to be like one of the coolest things. Here's going to be like a meme page of like how to trigger your core skill, but just note that this is also going to be a GIF on how the core skill works. You're combining a certain set of orbs that will trigger the core skill essentially, right? So it's 3 plus 3, so it'll be like 3 of the same orbs, right? And then this one is you're in supercomputing space, which is the perfect dodge mode, where you have one particular orb and then 3 orbs combined will generate the core skill ability, right? So it's just like these things that make me really excited for Punishing Gray Raven, like the amount of complexity when it comes to casting skills, like the timing between dodges. I've seen some gameplay where essentially the base characters can beat all of the end game. It just really comes down to skill, and of course grinding and getting like the appropriate stuff in order to upgrade your favorite characters. And every single character within the game will be viable. There is no such thing as like this character will trump them all. There's just going to be certain characters that's going to make the gameplay much easier, and of course variety is the spice of life. So you're going to want different waifus and husbandos, not to get bored of like the overall combat, because doing the same thing over and over again is kind of boring in my opinion. But yeah, this is going to be like my spreadsheet on some stuff. This is essentially a compilation of like information from Fury Production and Rexlent. I highly recommend checking out Rexlent's like guides right here. It talks about all the different constructs, it talks about pets, it talks about like the B rate constructs and how to trigger like their core skills and stuff, and how like skills essentially work, or orbs and all that stuff. But yeah, this is going to be my first impressions, beginner tips on Punishing Gray Raven. I feel like it's going to be a wonderful game, set to release sometime in July, hopefully, if not a little bit later. Just note that this is a high quality game. This is going to be developed by Kuro Games. They're going to be publishing this game as well, so that means they are all in. They're not like with Netmarble or any like sort of franchise like Nexon, and they're going to be pouring their hearts out when it comes to this game. I feel like it's worth a try. I can't wait for it. Just note, it's not going to be something crazy. It's not going to blow your socks off, but it's going to be a little bit more technical than any other action RPG we've seen in the gacha market so far. But anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 25,000 subs, we're doing a giveaway. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.